Hey traders, this is Marco. We have Friday the 10th of February and I want to make another bar by bar with you today. You can see during the night price action, prices were working lower here, so we can draw a downtrend here. And you can see how prices are fitting neatly within this channel. Then we had a break and retest of the extremes, and you can see here there's a support forming up. So prices were moving sideways here, and then there was a very strong push above the EMA, and that can always indicate change in momentum. So we have a push higher here and not really a pullback back to the EMA. Here it's going sideways, and now we will have from there the bar by bar until the rest of the trading day. You can see there is some congestion here, some, let's call it mini range, because prices are bouncing from here, prices bouncing on the top. So then you can draw a range, but also notice this support here coming up. This is pretty much the support of the range. And now we have some potential trade here, because you can see this push higher, and we had the first break and retest of the highs, but you can also see how prices are forming some very strong support here. And also look at the EMA, prices are not managing to break below the EMA, and here we have a second entry, long entry. The thing is, it's a bit congestive here, and this bar is quite big. This has 13 ticks. So I can understand if you say that this is too sideways and that you don't want to enter in the middle of the range. So if you consider this as an aggressive trade, I'm fine with that. Or if you want to put some limit order, let's say a few ticks back, that you're closer to the support line here, then this is also fine. But I want to mark this trade here as a second entry long within the trend direction. EMA is providing some very nice support. And you can see prices are working higher here. This second entry would have worked. I'm drawing always my shorter term channels, as you know from the videos before. And we're going higher from here, and this is the market opening. You can see this always in the color of change, like this background color is changing to the white background, and we're trending higher from here. And maybe there's even some bigger structure. We can like try to test this a bit here, maybe even a bit sharper than this. For now, I will keep it like this, because you can see prices are pushing strongly above the EMA and there's not really a pullback. So clearly the momentum from the overnight price action changed, and now we are more bullish compared to bearish before the opening. So prices are going higher here, and we have some potential second entry long here. You can see this high, first entry, pull back, and we're waiting for a good signal bar, and ideally it would be a bounce off the EMA here, but the EMA is a bit too far below. So right now this looks very congestive here, so there's no setup so far. And now we have a very strong push lower. We are not touching the EMA, but this push lower, and then directly we see this turn here and finishing on its high. This bar has 16 ticks, so if you enter this trade, it would be a stop loss of at least 18 ticks, and you would go long right into the highs here. So this is a risky setup as well. So if you can place a limit order, let's say here, then this trade would be absolutely perfect in my opinion, because it's right off a key entry point. The key entry point here is the trend channel, and it's right off the EMA. And within the trend, second entry long. So if you get in on a limit order, then this is a good trade. If you enter here on the very top, then it's very risky, because consider you have a very high risk running against you if prices are turning from here. So prices go higher, making a higher low here, but we cannot take this higher low because it's too far above the EMA. So it's really not worth taking here. We can pull back like any second back to the EMA. So we skip this for now. Another higher low here, but you can see prices moving sideways. So that far above the EMA, we cannot take a trade. Now we are breaking this trend structure for the first time. And let's see. There's the first entry here, pull back, and prices are not coming back above the EMA. So there could be a potential turn in momentum. Again, the same what we had here. We had this strong push lower, break new low. Then we have this push higher here with the first break. So I would like to see a retest of the highs ideally, but of course this is never guaranteed in price action. Everything is possible. So we wait from here, but we have a strong push lower here, and you can see prices are pushing below the EMA, and the EMA is providing some resistance since prices cannot finish or come back above the EMA. So we have some trend working lower here. I will mark this with this channel here. Potential first break, retest of the lows. So right now the bias is not very clear. We can just see that prices are moving lower. Maybe this is also a bigger downtrend channel here. I have to see and check. And this is what I wanted to see before. This very strong push above the EMA back to the highs, the last highs of this uptrend channel here. But yeah, we didn't get this by here. So instead we had this shorter term channel. So I think leaving the channel how it was, like this, with a break and retest of the lows. So this downtrend channel here played out. And now we see this very strong push above the EMA. No trade that I can see because the bias was not very clear here and there was no setup around the EMA. But now we're pushing back above the EMA, and I really would like to see a retest of the highs from this uptrend channel, because this was the first break, and you can see this was pretty much two legs down. First leg down, pull back, second leg down, pretty much to the tick. We had like this two pullbacks, correction, and now we're pushing above the EMA and approaching the last highs. But as I said, there's no setup so far, so all we can do is waiting here, and we're pushing higher, pulling back here to the EMA. There is no, that's not a higher low. This bar is too big anyway, so we have to wait here. This is a higher low, but also you can see if you enter here, it's way too far away of the EMA. So we'd like to see an entry closer to the EMA. And now prices made a new high. You can see here we have this shorter term channel working higher, break new high, and we made a new high of this uptrend structure. So technically this green uptrend here played out. And from here, I'm very careful in looking for any more longs, because yeah, we had the retest of the highs, and usually you can see some pullback, some retracement, or some range mode after that. So right now we must be very careful in taking any more longs. I can also not take a short yet from here, because you can see these are very strong pushes here above the EMA. And yeah, I know we made a new high, but I would like to see some more confirmation that this is the peak here, like another test and then a lower high, for example. But right now the bias is not very clear, so all we can do is waiting and see what prices are doing. and always draw your shorter term trend channels. They will help you a lot to figure out where prices are heading. And I'm saying this like many times, the shorter term channels play out the same way as the bigger term channels. They also have breaks and retest of the extremes. For example, here we have this channel working lower. There's a tiny break, a retest of the low. So this downtrend structure could be played out. And yeah, you can see prices are moving very much sideways here. Nothing to consider really. And we're pushing strongly lower. I can see 9 o'clock there was some news event, because you can see this huge bars here out of nothing, and this like very big wicks on the top and on the bottom side. 9 o'clock there was the consumer sentiment. So I will draw some let's say box here so that you know that there's a news event. We are not trading with the news because simply yeah, there's huge volatility, and if you are in a trade before the news, you can see like huge spikes and they can stop you out in a blink. So don't trade the news and stay out of any trades like a couple minutes before and couple minutes after that. 9 o'clock, this is the news event here. We're peaking. You can see we're coming from here, pushing lower, then push below the EMA, and look at this wicks here. This like a doji party because like there's no clear structure. Prices going higher, lower, and finishing pretty much where they opened. So no trades for sure, nothing to consider. And maybe I'm seeing this right now. There's some channel working lower, maybe even a bigger channel like this maybe. Wait, let me change this a bit because you can barely see something through it. So we're working lower here. Coloring this channel as well. No setup. And now it's like 5 minutes after the news. So it's okay to trade again, I would say. So where are we right now? We had this uptrend working higher. We had the break retest of the highs. Then pretty much sideways action. You can see it's like a push lower, push higher, push lower. Now we're pushing higher again. We bounced off this old range support here. But so far really nothing I can see. I will remove this box now. I'm not sure about this channel here because you can see there could be some potential overshoot here to the low side, and within news this is possible. So not too sure what to think about here. But if we consider this as an overshoot, then this channel could be played out already, because after overshoot, there are not many times a retest of the lows, and an overshoot is indicating a break of the channel. So we're breaking this channel now. So this structure could be played out already. But we are marking this very strong push higher here. And this is interesting now because you see prices made this high. First entry, second entry, it's a pullback here. You can see prices are dropping below the EMA and came all the way up higher. So if prices are managing to close above here, then all these shorts that went into this trade here would be trapped. And we have this shorter term uptrend here working higher with a first break and no retest of the highs yet. So this is a very interesting setup. It also fits in the overall context because we had this push higher here, then two pullbacks, retest of the highs, then a push lower. So this channel here could be played out with the overshoot already, and then with this strong push high here above the EMA and finding some support at the EMA on a second entry long, I really like this setup. So if you take this setup, then yeah, the odds are in your favor. Let's see how it plays out. You would be into the trade, and your scalp would hit the take profit already by here. So we have the retest of the highs here and forming a higher low now. But the problem is that looks a bit congestive here now. You can see like this 4 or 5 bars are stacked up. So I don't like to take a trade here, and also it's only a first entry. You can see prices made a new high here. So first entry, I would like to see a second entry long, but prices push higher. So maybe there's a bigger structure in play. Something like this. You can check. Zooming in a bit. Pushing strongly above the EMA. You can see the order of bull bars coming here. This is a clear change in momentum that we are going higher. We have a pullback here. First entry. So maybe the channel is like this. And a second entry again. Wow, today it's really crazy. You can see from the context, prices are moving up in this green uptrend here, and they made a new high here. We have the first entry, pull back, second entry, and this is similar to what we saw here. Prices are coming below the EMA and taking all the strength and pushing above and finishing almost perfectly on this high here. And also see this like little support coming up here. You can see this level was tested here, another time here, and now another time here. Depends on how you draw it. And we have another second entry long here, potentially a first break of this uptrend structure, and the same what we saw here. After the first break, there should be a retest of the highs. So I really like this setup, even though this bar is 18 ticks. So consider if you want to enter on a second entry with 20 ticks risk, better would be in limit order, let's say a few ticks back, and then entry closer to the support here, so you reduce your risk. But yeah, I know some of you guys, they take such trades anyway. So if you consider this, it's a very nice second entry long within the context, the overall context, and first break of this channel. So there's still a retest open. Let's see, it would have worked out. There's a higher low here, but now we have the problem. We had this first break of this channel already. So, and a retest of the highs. And also, let's zoom out a bit. These are even new highs for the day. So right now, I would be careful in taking any more longs. The same what we had here when we had the retest. So right now, we have to see what's going on. Prices are moving sideways. Okay. Maybe we draw some range here. Maybe something like this. Okay, now we're bouncing here on the top. Nothing I can see. We are ranging here clearly. There was a break, retest of the high, so potentially this uptrend here could be played out, even though I would like to see more like 2 legs, like a retest within 2 legs. That could be 1 leg, so a second leg would be until here. But of course, we have already a new high in place, so another second leg is not guaranteed. And we're pushing lower here. Now we have a breakout out of this range. If you follow my videos, you know that I'm saying this many times. Most breakouts out of ranges fail, especially in the first attempt. So you can see when prices are ranging here, and this is the first breakout out of this range. Also, like if you want the shorter term momentum is working lower, break, new low, and then this very strong bull bar here coming back inside the range. This is an interesting setup, but the thing is, again, 16 ticks, it's a bit too much. If the bar, for example, closed here, where my cursor is now, I hope you can see it, that it's like zoomed in enough, then I would be feeling much better taking a long here, taking a long at the end here, especially where the EMA is, and you can see there's 1 or 2 ticks that prices moved back after they reached the EMA. I think I cannot take a long here, but if prices are finishing, for example, here, then I really would like to see a long trade here back inside the range. Okay, this is a doji, this is what you can expect. Okay, you would be out of the trade if you entered here on this failed break lower. But as I said, if the bar finished like closer here, then this would be a perfect setup. By the way, I forgot marking these trades here. That was also second entry long. And this was a failed break lower, but this is not written here, so we can write it failed break lower. And I don't know why this is jumping all the time when I'm writing this, but yeah, if you consider this trade, then only if the bar is finishing a bit lower here, then you have this first break out of ranges. The context is still up, so yeah, then it's very good, and I like to take longs within the overall context. Prices are moving back inside this range here, and we're staying at the lower range, at the support right now, not coming back to this highs here. That could indicate that we are turning, because if price is losing steam to push higher here, then pretty much that was the 2-leg test of the extremes. First leg pullback, second leg, even though the second leg is a bit smaller than the first one, and we're pushing lower here, but this range still stays strong. There's a higher low right now here, but this is very congestive. You can see like this bars here to the left side. It's like, I don't know how many, but prices moving in this tiny area. If you want, you can even draw like a smaller range inside the range. Let's color it like this, and you can see there's almost no space here to the range resistance, and also you enter right into the midline of this bigger range. And whenever you have, let's call them like resistance levels in between your entry and your profit, then it's not good to take a trade. The way should be free, like without any resistances. So yeah, skipping this, and we're ranging more here. And there's a strong push lower. You can see we are not able to reach the highs here, and we push strongly below the EMA. And with this lower high here, prices are telling that they want to go lower, because also look at the size of the bars. They are much bigger than what we saw before here. So there is a change in momentum that prices want to go lower here. Drawing this channel. There's a potential break, retest of the lows. Maybe there's even a bigger channel. Something like this could be possible. with a break, no setup here. We would like to see a pullback to the EMA to take a trade. And yeah, this is a very strong push lower here, working lower. So the question is, if you draw it like this, then we have a break and couple legs to a new low. If you draw it like this, we also have a break here and yeah, test of the extremes. So this channel here could be played out. So right now we are careful in taking any more shorts, and prices push higher here. That's interesting. We are pushing above the EMA, pulling back. First entry long, pull back. Second entry long, the most favorite setup of this trading day today. You can see also we have some support forming. This looks very much like this here. So we have this push higher here, new high first entry, pull back second entry. This trade we have to take. This is 100% what we are looking for. And this jumps. You can see that if I'm like pushing this text here, then it's always jumping a few bars to the front. And yeah, you would be out of this trade already with a profit. We have the break, retest of the lows. So this shorter term channel could be played out by now. And we are moving sideways. There's another test of this support here. Moving sideways. So maybe there is a bigger range working here. Sorry, just had a call. Greetings to Taylor and Toby because they were calling me in Discord. So yeah, price is moving sideways here. You can see this range, and there are a lot of pushes lower here. You can see like this is an order of bear bars here working lower, but there's no setup here. I know this is a new high here, first entry short, potential second entry short, but this is not directly off the EMA, and we're very close to this very strong support here where prices formed some buying power previously. So we cannot take a short into this strong support here because prices could bounce here and come back inside the range. We're trending lower. First break, coming back inside this range here. Drawing this shorter term channel, working higher. This is congestion here. You can see a few bars stacking up here, and we are not finishing above the EMA. I would like to see a nice finish above the EMA to consider a long to test the other side of the range here, but this is pure congestion right now. And if you want, we have the first break and retest of the lows from this push lower here. And this is interesting, but the problem is it's very congestive here. You can see like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars are stacked up. So I have problems in taking a short here. I know it's a second entry short, but really it's so congestive and not sure where prices are heading because the context right now is range. And the thing is, this is it's the second breakout out of range, out of the range. So we could go lower here, but yeah, I would like to see some clearer trend structure here to take a short. So if you are more aggressive, maybe you take this trade. I'm staying here out because, as I said, like you can see a doji here. Okay, this is a bull bar doji here, and yeah, I cannot take this, but it's clearly pushing lower, and we're going sideways. And now we see this trend structure that I was telling you about, that I would like to see to consider more shorts. So yeah, if you see this now after the fact, then this setup looks interesting, but as I said before, it's so congestive. So when you are super aggressive, you can consider the second entry short here. But yeah, price is pushing lower, and if you consider this range like this, because we had some bounce here, another bounce here, another bounce here. So if you consider that this range is not how I had it, but a bit more extended like this, then you would go short into support where prices bounced 2 times before. But I also agree if you tell me that there's no rejection, because a clear rejection looks something like this here. We touch this level and you can see like directly a snap back above the EMA. Another rejection example is for example here, prices going to the EMA and they snap higher directly, pushing back to the EMA and snap higher. So these are important key entry points. And here, yeah, this is no clear rejection. You can see prices were touching the EMA, going sideways a bit before. So yeah, if you like this setup, I can understand why. Me personally, I would skip because of the reasons that I just told you. And that's it already. That was the trading day. This is the trading Friday. And wow, if you saw our last week's video, then you will remember I was looking for trades and there were no trades. But now this picture is completely different. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 nice setups here. You can see the whole chart here. Yeah, prices were pushing lower during the night, break new low. So this played out, then pushing higher here. The first potential second entry long, we're speaking about this. Then first break of this uptrend structure here. This downtrend structure broke and had a retest of the lows, and after that we saw a retest of the highs of this uptrend structure here, this push higher here, and then forming a new uptrend this here with a very nice second entry long here, and short time after that another second entry long right off the key entry points. The key entry points are the trend channels and the EMA, and you have to like go back in your charts and look at this. Whenever prices are approaching key entry points, you can see a strong reaction. And we have this reaction here, we have this reaction here, we have this reaction here. Then we had the failed break lower, but this setup here, I was telling you before, would be better to enter either on a limit or if the bar closed lower here, like closer to my cursor. But for the purpose of education, I was showing you this potential failed break lower. I really like to trade this, but yeah, this bar finished a bit too high and too close to the EMA. Then we had this push lower, tiny break, retest of the lows, and then from here ranging out. But you can see also from this range here, prices lost steam, and I'm drawing this for you maybe. Prices were not able to come back to this upper part of the range. And this is an indication that prices are losing steam and potentially breaking the other side. We're speaking about this setup here. Yeah, and right now there's another second entry short. I think we just missed this. If you draw it like this and this channel a bit closer, then you have a potential second entry short here. I don't like that it's not directly off the EMA, so I would like to see it right off the EMA as before. But we have a key entry point here. So yeah, that's the trading day of today. here for you all the trades. I hope you had a nice trading week. It was a game of patience this week. I think there were like 2 days or even 3 days where I barely saw any setups. If you follow us on Facebook, you know it from my daily charts. But today, DS is paying you back what you have waited for all the days before. So we have some very nice setups here, some very nice trades, and you can see this second entry short would have worked as well right off the key entry point. So yeah, if you want, I can mark this second entry short. This is the first. You see this jumps. This is like crazy. When I want to write this down, my chart is jumping like crazy. The first short of today. So yeah, that's it. Have a great weekend and see you on Sunday. Good weekend to you.